Hello, Gemini, and welcome to your reading for the week of January 23 through 29, 2024. These run Tuesday through Monday because I usually upload all these, or at least make them live on Monday. Trying to get that done a little earlier this time because I feel like I'm getting them out very late Mondays because there's so many of them to do. This is a reading for you if you are a Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Gemini Rising, or have some other kind of significant Gemini placement in your chart. If you're returning to this channel, welcome back. It's good to have you here again, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you to all of you lovely people who have subscribed. Thank you also to you lovely people who have donated to me. I do have my donation link down in the description. And I also have my link to my website, liminalreiki.com, where you can see the kind of spiritual coaching, tarot Reiki, astrology services that I offer. I have those. And also, if you're new to this channel, definitely welcome, and let me know if this reading resonates with you. If there's anything in here that, and if it does, then consider subscribing to the channel. Definitely, if you could leave me a thumbs up, if you could leave me a comment about what you're about how this reading resonated for you, then that would be awesome. Okay, the way I do these readings is I do 12 houses of astrology, and I use the cartouche deck, Egyptian cartouche deck first, and then I will clarify with the tarot deck. And this week I'm using MJ Culinane's Guardian of the Night Tarot. And I will usually do an oracle, just a quick oracle card at the end, and I will be using the same one that I use on my Instagram channel, which is transition.life.coaching, the dot being a period in between each word. Then I use the essential oil oracle for daily readings there, but I will use that as for the weekly summary of the reading as well. Okay, so let's see. Starting at the beginning. So this is Aries energy. Make sure my camera's good here. This is Aries energy, and this has to do with you, your personality, how you present yourself to the world, how other people see you, how you want to be seen. All right, so we've got the Four of Wands with a scarab. Okay, so for you, Gemini, you're at this point of, as you can see, there's an 11-11 here. There's two here and two here. The staves form 11-11. You have these two beautiful magpies in the middle. In America we don't have these. When I was over in England, we see a lot of these. In fact, I was walking through Regent's Park in London, and one was just bouncing along in front of me. It was there. I love them. But this card represents a gateway. It represents being in a stable place, being satisfied, basically being somewhat settled in who you are. But remember, this is a 4 and not a 9 or a 10. So this is really, you've completed the initial stage of something, and now I think you are ready to move on to something completely new, which is what scarab indicates. There's definitely a change coming for you here. I'm trying to think for you in terms of the astrology with Pluto going into Aquarius, and also where the nodal axes are. For you, I believe they're going to affect you. If you're a Gemini ascendant, they may affect you more in like the 9th and the 10th houses. So this would have to do with your job energy, career, reputation, education, that sort of thing. So I don't know. I'm always looking to see where these changes are coming up, because the day that I'm actually doing this reading is the 20th of January. And this is the day that Pluto is going to move into Aquarius. And other than a brief retrograde around September, we're going to be in Pluto in Aquarius now, I think, for the next 40 years. So this is a very long trek. We've just come out of Pluto in Capricorn. So there's a lot of people who are going through major, major changes right now and having to innovate, having to think about things differently. And for you, this may be a revision of your identity, of where you're going. You're about to step through the gateway to something new. Also, I'm going to point out that this is the Four of Wands, and that this card has a 22 at the top, and 2 plus 2 adds up to 4. So the number 4 might be significant for you. In this sense, you also have a 4 here, 13. 1, 3 adds up to 4 in your next house, which is Taurus. So that's interesting. And we'll see. We'll see if what the numerical trend continues. I do like to look at the numerology of the spread as I go through, if it seems to make sense. Okay, so you've got Taurus energy here, and Taurus has to do with your finances. Okay, primarily. I mean, also do your value system, your possessions. It's Venus energy, so it's a house of luxury. So you've got the Two of Wands, and you've got it with water. So water comes up quite often. Now, there's two possibilities with water. One is that you could have money that's flowing in really fast and also flowing out just as fast. It could be like this constant influx and outgoing of money. That is a possibility here. This also could indicate a change in your financial situation. So if you've had a stagnant situation, something where you feel like you're stuck or you don't know how it's moving, this can indicate movement coming for that. Now you have it with the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands implies choice or decision that needs to be made. I always feel like the twos have to do with decisions. And in fact, I'm seeing the Lovers here in your 12th house, which is another decision card. I'm just looking through to see if you have others that are about deciding. Not particularly. Okay, so this seems like this may be, some financial choices that are going on. But yeah, but we'll work our way through and see how these connect. But with this Two of Wands here, I feel like, yeah, well, first of all, this does resonate very much with the Four of Wands card, in the sense that you feel like you sort of have your act together, you're preparing yourself, you're on the threshold of something. This is showing a lioness and a lion standing there with the lioness is between the two staves. And when we look at this in the Rider-Waite deck, which is the imagery that most people, I feel like they connect with in terms of these cards, it usually shows a person holding a globe in their hand and looking out over the waters. So it's literally like you're ready to move on to the next thing. There's definitely a sense of movement. Maybe for some of you, there's literally a financial consideration connected to travel or water or movement. I mean, that would be a very specific message. That's not usually the way I take it, but it's possible. The Two of Wands may indicate that you are making some decisions here with regard to your finances, and but it suggests that you have made the initial preparations that you need to make, and maybe that you just need to flow into a new situation here. It'll be interesting to see what shows up in your job houses and so forth, because that may connect in with this, or even your house of other people's money. Okay, third house, this is your own energy, Gemini, and this is the house of messages. This has to do with communications. If you're in your own business, this is a house of self-employment. Could have to do with sibling relationships, anything ruled by Mercury. So technology, communication, things like that. Okay, so we have Thoth with the Ace of Wands. Now, Thoth, in a communication sense, now for some of you, this can be a house of writing. So for some of you, this may literally connect to writing of some type, perhaps something new. There could be written communications. You could be working with a publisher on a new project. For some of you, again, that's very specific. Not obviously that doesn't apply to everybody. But I feel like even in a business sense, like there's something new. Thought that indicates legal matters that go well. It's a positive omen, and it has to do with karma in the sense of somebody doing you a good turn. So I feel like this is like reaping good karma, like this type of card in this position. And it can also sometimes indicate timing, like it being the right time to do something. So with the Ace of Wands, I don't know, there could be some kind of beginning you're contemplating. You could be in communication with somebody about it. This could have to do with a business, maybe starting a business if you haven't, or doing something new with your business if you actually have one. Again, take it as it resonates. This is a general reading. But there's definitely the idea of something new and exciting. Ace of Wands definitely indicates high energy, passion, excitement for something new. And the fact that you have it with this card indicates that something is happening at the right time. So so that'll be interesting to see where that goes. Fourth house is Cancer energy. So this has to do with your home, your environment, sometimes with your family and with the mother. Definitely strong ancestral vibe to this card. Okay, so this is interesting. You have Anubis with the Four of Pentacles. So there seems to be a strong sense of protection here. You are protecting yourself, perhaps protecting your home. Maybe if there's been some financial back and forth here, maybe you're making sure that you can meet the bills, pay the rent, the mortgage, whatever it is. And Anubis here has a lot to do with protection as well. So yeah, this is not to me, even though Anubis sometimes is a card of movement in terms of travel and movement, I feel like this is more you trying to stay where you're at right now. And again, we're back into the pattern of fours, because now we have the Four of Pentacles, we have the Four of Wands, we have Scarab, we have Water. And it's interesting because we have 2 cards of change and 2 cards of kind of staying where we're at. In the home sector, so whether this has to do with a family situation or this literally has to do with your living space, Four of Pentacles says to me that something is to be gained by letting go and opening up. We may be clinging too tightly to a situation, to something going on with a family member, to something related to our home. Or even just having to do with our personal sense of security. If we're trying to make financial decisions over here, then I feel like this may be you saying, well, I have to hang on to my money right now. I can't go with this movement and change. But Anubis would also indicate that if you are in a situation where you're maybe concerned about how you're going to make the rent or something like that, Anubis would suggest protection. Okay, so this would indicate that whatever's going on, you are protected. And I feel like so far I'm seeing there's a bit of this tension between, there's big changes, and I think you're excited to make a change, Gemini. But at the same time, I think there's a hesitancy to upset the apple cart, to, if things are starting to change for the better, to say like, well, maybe I should just kind of stay where I'm at. But I feel like this is urging you towards change, towards doing something new. Okay, 5th house. Alrighty, now we've got the 3 of Cups and the Buckle of Isis. Now, when Buckle of Isis shows up in the 5th house, and again, this is going to be very specific because obviously there's a lot of people this does not apply to, but somebody, this is a pregnancy card. Okay, 5th house, this is one of the indicators. There's a couple other ones. Certain positionings of the Empress can also indicate pregnancy. I don't know. Now, for somebody, it could be that maybe you've got news that a baby's on the way. Maybe that's the exciting news that you have, in which case Thoth might have, well, it could be karmic, but it also might be a medical aspect to it. Maybe that's why you're making financial decisions. Maybe that's why, if you've been in a settled position, now you're going to have to make some changes to your identity and who you are. And 3 of Cups is a card of celebration. So this is definitely a card, whether you're having a baby or not, this is definitely a card of celebrating, of networking with others. If there's no pregnancy involved here, okay, which again, that's going to be very specific to certain people, then this would definitely have to do with a sacrifice that's being made. It can have to do with fidelity. So this is the house of love affairs. So sometimes this, can have to do with the faithfulness of somebody, or suggesting that if there has your partner's faithfulness is called into question at all, this may be saying that they are faithful. It could be if you are trying to meet somebody, maybe there's this message about, making the sacrifice, getting out and socializing if you've been, hibernating or kind of staying in for a while. The other aspect of this house has to do with creative projects. So if you're already in a stable relationship, not having kids, then this could indicate just that maybe you're collaborating with somebody on something. Maybe there's definitely this sense of reward to be gained by putting effort into something of a creative nature. Now, when we say creative, we always tend to think like, oh, the arts, music, crafts, things like that. Creativity can take a lot of different forms. So keep an open mind about what that might mean. And there definitely seems to be this sense of not only celebrating something, but of bringing in a third party or working with others on a particular situation. If that's the angle of this house that is meaningful to you. Okay, 6th house is Virgo, and Virgo has to do with our health. It has to do with any jobs that we have. It's the house of service, as they say. So these are jobs, work that we do for other people, typically, if that applies to you, if you're not self-employed. And it can also have to do with domestic animals for some people, and also with worry. This is a house of worry and anxiety because Virgo energy, while Virgo energy is very much about health and good health and health-centered, it's also, there's a perfectionism, a detail-orientedness to an organizational aspect to Virgo energy. This is why a lot of Virgos make good librarians. It's just this, it's attention to detail, this sense of perfection. And so that's all the elements of this house. And the cards you have here are air with the 7 of Swords. Okay, so this is interesting because 7 of Swords indicates information that's not being shared with you. It could be that somebody is, I don't know, sometimes this happens when somebody's watching, like you see this panther that's kind of stalking here. It could be that something is going on that you are not seeing, or there's a situation where you have to be diplomatic. You can't show your hand. It's almost like you're playing a poker game and you can't show your hand. So either you're not telling somebody something, you're keeping something to yourself, or somebody is keeping something from you, and you'll know which way it resonates. Whether if you're feeling like a need to keep things to yourself, then maybe there's something you're not sharing with others. In either case, we have air here. So this is, I feel like what this could have to do with, if we feel like, sometimes this has to do with sabotage, usually more self-sabotage. It may be that you are in a very emotional place about something and you need to detach from it. See, when air comes up, to me, it's about being friendly. It's about communication. It's also about messages and so forth. But there also may be a need to detach from outcomes here, or to detach from other people's opinions of you. There's definitely a sense here of I don't know. There's a sense of, there's something going on here. Something that has a kind of hidden or secret kind of a nature. But whatever it is, first of all, I feel like with air, like something's going to be communicated, and maybe this is something you're going to find out about. But overall, I just feel like this is a need to just to not worry so much, about what, who's out there. This also could just be saying, in a certain situation, whether this has to do with a job. I don't know if it has to do with a health situation. A lot of people right now have COVID again, and I wonder for some people if they're not sharing that fact with people. I was someplace recently where they were talking about everybody was out for COVID, and because the regulations say you must be out for a week with COVID, they were saying, well, don't tell anybody you have COVID. Just stay out of work when you're sick and then come back when you're well. Like don't say COVID, because then even if you're better, you get to stay out longer. Like that kind of a thing. So I don't know. Maybe because this is the health house, maybe that's true of some people. Maybe it's sort of like, okay. But I don't know. If there have been health issues recently that have kind of snuck up on you, air here would indicate, this has to do with something that's not quite that serious. So it will be something that will pass through quickly, and that you would be okay if sickness is part of the equation here. But yeah, there's definitely this sense of feeling like somebody's watching, or somebody's not giving information. Like I said, maybe it's you. It can depend. But whatever this is, it's something that's not serious, something that's quick, something that's going to pass, and something that you shouldn't get too emotionally, I guess the term is worked up about. I don't know that I feel that you're worked up about this, Gemini, but I don't know. There's something that may require a level of detachment and looking at it perhaps from, or just not taking it very seriously or too seriously. Okay, now we're into 7th house. This is your partnerships. So this is long-term partnerships. It could be a marriage, it could be a business partnership, legal contract, anything. Usually it's something of a legal nature, because as we know, Libra is the scales. So the scales of justice. So these tend to have to do with more serious partnerships. And interestingly, you have Osiris with temperance. Okay, so for those of you who are married and in relationships, this would definitely be about having a solid partner, about having peace in something, keeping things in balance. This is actually just a very nice, there's no big changes going on here to any kind of dynamic, whether it be a professional or a personal relationship. This definitely seems like that. For those of you looking for love, though, I feel like there's strong Sagittarius vibe here. You have Temperance and you have Osiris, both of which are cards of Sagittarius. So I don't know. That doesn't necessarily mean that the person you're involved with is a Sagittarius. Like by sun, they could have just a strong Sag element in their chart, or they could just have the qualities of Sag, which is somebody who's just very gregarious and outgoing, and but also a very, very driven person, but also a very friendly and outgoing kind of person. So interesting here. For some of you, this does relate to a Sag person, but it doesn't have to. In general, I feel like there's just whatever's going on in a relationship situation. I mean, I think if you've had some ups and downs, if there's been some roller coaster moments in your partnerships, or if you don't have a partner right now and you're looking for one, there just seems to be this sense of things integrating something, because temperance to me is about integrating maybe things that are contradictory or appear to be opposite, or just finding balance generally. And then Osiris is just about somebody who's just good and solid, almost strong emperor energy too. So for some people, this could even be Aries energy, but there's definitely the sense of something solid. So yeah, if you've been looking for movement and change, this is more or less saying things are going to kind of stay where they are, but they're going to stay at a peaceful place. Okay. And if this is a business partnership, actually, this looks really good, because this looks like somebody who might help you, somebody who has good leadership qualities and who's going to help balance the books and everything else. So, okay. 8th house, Scorpio energy. So this has to do with transformation, and it also has to do with other people's money. Okay. So for some of you, okay, here's our Aquarian energy here. So for some of you, Pluto is affecting the 8th house. Those of you in Gemini. And again, you have to look at your individual chart to see what that effect is. But this is definitely about breadth of vision. This is about thinking outside the box, getting out, not looking at things the same way. I mean, the fact that you've also got Scarab here in the 1st house indicates this is a change. This is a change in the way, in your own narrative, and the way that you're looking at things, and the way you present yourself, and the way that you deal with whatever conflict you have. And so you have it with the 9 of Swords. So the 9 of Swords is a card of worry. So there's definitely a sense that there are these changes that are coming. I feel like you're quite satisfied with keeping things as they are. So I think you are fearful about what change is going to mean. Okay, you've got this 9 of Swords. You may be fearful about transformations or changes that are taking place. For some of you, if this is financial, this is also the house of other people's money. So maybe there's some concerns about that as well. Although again, I'm seeing movement in a money situation and maybe choices that have to be made. But here, yeah, this is definitely telling you to open your mind, to think about things more broadly. Sirius also asks you to look after your physical health. This would be, and I don't mean that to imply that this means that you're sick, just that you may be doing things to build up your own strength, because Sirius has a lot to do with strength and endurance and things like that. So whatever is going on, whatever it is you're worried about here, I feel like whatever it is, you have the strength to deal with it, and you need to involve yourself in a little creative thinking to figure out how to solve something if you feel paranoid. Like maybe in this case, maybe some of you are paranoid about losing a job. Maybe you feel somebody's watching you. Maybe you're afraid they're going to say, this is not going to happen, or, because January has been an odd month for people with jobs. I've heard of a number of people now who have said they've either lost a job in January, or sudden layoffs are announced and stuff. A lot of times it's near the beginning of a fiscal year, so a lot of places will do that. So that it could be worries about things like that. But I don't know. I feel like whatever's coming, breadth of vision. So and what's coming into my mind is, if it's a negative situation, look at the positives. Like, work from what it is that you have. Don't focus on, I don't have this, I don't have that. Say, okay, well, what do I have, and what can I do with what I have? And do I just have to do the same old thing with what I have? Can I do something different? So yeah, so there's definitely some sense of worry there. 9th house, this is Sagittarius energy. This is higher education, long distance travel, sometimes legal proceedings come under this house, but also just expansion, philosophy, things we think of as philosophy, religion, our ideas about God, things like that. There's definitely this idea of deeper thinking and broader horizons. And wow, you've got Nephthys with the sun. So the sun here, this is a happiness card. So whether this has to do with travel, whether this has to do with some other opportunity that you have to expand your horizons, whether it be a class or a workshop or going back to school, or whatever it is, or whether you're finding this through your religious faith or some kind of belief system in life, there's definitely the idea of clarity coming in here. And clarity is something that is necessary, because you have Nephthys here. Nephthys is Piscean energy, or Neptunian energy, really. And this indicates a situation where the future is not clear. Okay, there's something in which the future may not be clear to you right now. You may feel like you don't know what's coming next in something, and you may be waiting for news. So again, whether this has to do with a trip, whether this has to do with school, whether this has to do with some other future opportunity, no worries, because the sun, this is strong Leo energy. will be coming in to clarify and to brighten up whatever is being clouded over here with this Nepenthes type situation. Nepenthes also here, it can mean unexpected opportunities. So it could be that in whatever process of change you're going through right now, the presence of Nepenthes can indicate wait, because there's more. Wait, there's more. There's more to come, but in a good way. Seeing this with the sun seems to indicate that some kind of a way is going to be shown here, and it's either going to be to do with travel, or whether it be school, education, or something having to do with expanding your horizons in some way. So there's definitely something going on here that I think that's a little bit deeper than just okay. So for example, if you had a situation where, okay, a job situation doesn't look stable or something like that, I feel like this is saying this is part of something deeper that's going on. And that it's by taking a deeper look at the situation that's where your clarity is going to come from. And again, for some of you, this could indicate something to do with an educational institution or going back to school. So for instance, if you are in a job situation, maybe some of you, especially if some of you are more academic, because I am seeing some of you may have this academic or writing bent. Maybe you're going to go for a scholarship or fellowship or something like that. I mean, just things like that. There could be a light being shown from this particular direction. So again, take it as it resonates. That some of these things are going to be very specific to certain people and not to others, but these are some of the possibilities that we have. Okay, 10th house is Capricorn energy. This is about your career, fame, and reputation. And okay, you've got the twins with the 8 of Wands. So this suggests something happening very, very fast. And when we have the twins, we're talking about a partnership of some kind. So this could be a business partnership. This could be somebody, a friend or somebody in your network who offers you an opportunity, or who you're going to end up working with on something that's going to build whatever your legacy is, whatever it is that you're putting out there. It may also be advising you on the job or career front to look to somebody else, to look to either mentors or helpers or recruiters or whatever. There's this idea of looking to somebody else. Maybe you know somebody who can help move you ahead in something. And the 8 of Wands has to do with messages, certainly, but it also has to do with things that are going to happen very, very fast. But this is a good card. This is a good fast card of something that's fast moving. So I feel like if you've had a situation where your finances have been in question, where maybe your work situation's been in question, like there's going to be somebody here that's going to bring in a very rapid change to this. Okay? And I feel like 8 of Wands, it could be the number 8 could be significant. It could be something that's happening in the next couple of months. You've also got a lot of 4s here. Yeah, 8 energy definitely, it pushes us past the obstacles, towards the finish line here. This is a definite decision in favor of action of some kind. So yeah, take that as it resonates. And the time frame is not something I'm 100% on, by the way. It's just that might, you could calculate it and see, okay, where am I in a couple of months, and see if this rang true for you in that sense. Okay, so now we have the Aquarius house. And Aquarius is about your destiny, your goals, your hopes and wishes. And it has to do with also with your social networks and things like that. And wow, you have Death with Earth. Okay. So there's definitely some kind of a financial omen here. There could be a friendship that is just building a solid foundation for something. Maybe it's connected to the partnership over here, because this one, this is more fire than earth, but there's still a very, very solid component to it. This could indicate, finances being part of it. I feel like this is a good omen for getting finances. And again, seeing the twins, I feel like, yeah, there's somebody in your network or something that is going to, help improve or change in some positive way your financial situation. I do feel like this has to do with finances. So I feel like that's there. But we also have Death here, and Death again is another 4. 1 + 3. Death card is card number 13. 1 + 3 is 4. So you've got a lot of 4s in this reading. So Death indicates that there's a time. This is a time for a change or a transformation. So this could be ending certain relationships that you're in. This could be getting some new ones. Scarab also has the strong energy of this. So I feel like what you're getting rid of here may be associations that don't serve you, maybe that they're toxic, or maybe they're holding you back in some way. This is time maybe to build some new things, maybe some more solid things. And also I feel like there's a strong sense of looking to your networks. It doesn't just have to be like your personal friend group. This can also be business networks and things like that, where there's some kind of financial opportunity or something connected to finances there. So that seems to be kind of showing the way a little bit here. I think if there's been a situation where maybe money has been in question, or like this says, coming in and out really fast, and you feel like you have decisions to make. Okay, 12th house is Pisces. Pisces energy. Okay, this is what's hidden. So this is what you may be hidden even from yourself. This is what you don't want people to see. This is what's unconscious. This may be what you're afraid of. Now you have Ta with the Lovers. Now Ta is strong Saturn energy here. It's Capricorn. So this is the card of the master maker. So there may be some concerns about the foundations of something that you've built, or about the stability of something. Because this to me has to do with, it can have to do with setting boundaries, but Ta is about building stuff. So there may be some unconscious fears about that. And with the Lovers here, I feel like there's choices or decisions to be made. And I think you're worried potentially about making the wrong decision when this comes up here. Because you want to make something, you want to go for that solid thing, like Earth, okay? Capricorn is also Earth sign, right? You've got this sense of wanting to build something solid and wanting to build something that's going to last. I mean, remember, this is the master maker, master mason. We're building a structure that's going to last. And you may be concerned about whether the decisions that are being made lately are going to lead to that. But I'm definitely feeling here, overall, like you need to get out of your current comfort zone. You need to expand your horizons. I feel like maybe through higher ed, or maybe through a trip or travel, or through some, it could be a class, it could be a workshop. It's just something that's going to potentially turn your attention, expand your horizons, expand your social group. And I feel like there's somebody within your either business or personal network that's going to help, move you ahead. I think there's some worries over here about what you're not seeing. But Seven of Swords also can indicate somebody who has their eye on you. And this doesn't have to be a negative thing. Sometimes it's just somebody who's watching you but not saying anything. And maybe it's somebody who wants to come in and make you an offer. It doesn't have to be a negative thing. Yeah, overall, you've got Crook and Flail. So you definitely need to be confident in yourself. Step into your power. I feel like Crook and Flail is very much about your own power, your own authority. Okay, and when you step into your authority, you can be confident that you're in a position to meet any changes. I mean, you have it with the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles has to do with new projects, and interestingly, with studentship. Okay, with being a student. And remember, we're seeing these opportunities up here. So for some of you, this is definitely a sign that to go back and get more education. Go back to school, more certifications, or something. There's going to be something of that nature that's going to be, that's maybe going to make you more of an authority or more of an expert, or help you become more visible and step into your power. Crook and Flail also indicates if there has been something that has been off or wrong or unfair or out of balance. This generally indicates the rightness of things, like, justice coming for somebody, So again, take that as it resonates. Let's pull your Essential Oil Oracle card for the week, and let's see what you need to know here. Okay, we're just going to put them over this. And let's see what your card is. Turmeric. Okay, this is your card for the week, and I will read it to you. Your keyword at the top is belief. The trigger statement is, it is too late. The true statement is, I am free to believe. And your statement is, you are clearing away beliefs, energy, and memories that no longer serve you, so necessary decisions will be made. Okay, we're talking about decisions here. And for some of you, yeah, I mean, if you're somebody who's a little bit older, maybe you're saying, I can't do something new right now. I'm either I'm too old, or things have changed and I can't do certain things. I have to go with what I have. You need to look at this in a new way. You need to look at this in a new way. It may not So for instance, if someone's lost a job, this may not be necessitating that you immediately just run out and get another job like the one you had. There may be some kind of, oftentimes losses are also opportunities. So if that applies to you, and again, if it doesn't apply to you, just rest assured that there may be some changes coming. And I think what this is trying to tell you is to take the course of action that's going to lead you towards something new, towards expanding your horizons, not towards doing the same old thing. So I hope this was helpful to you, Gemini. I hope you have a wonderful week. Do remember to give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment if you like, subscribe if you like this channel, and we'll see you next week.